Got these Amish made rockers about 6-7 years ago, and they're starting to fall apart. This one's, the arm is completely gone on it. So I'm going to do something about that. Picked up these two whiskey barrels or wine barrels. They were listed as whiskey barrels, I'm not sure what, but I'm going to use these to make some rockers. So the first thing I need to do is dismantle the barrels, and these have these little nails in here, so it's only one on each one of these rings, so I'm not sure what the best way to get those off, but let's see. Oh, well, that's not too hard. All right, there are actually 2 nails on each of these. Maybe not a lot of tension. Looks a bit like a blooming onion. So I just took apart the second one, and when I opened it up, it really smells like red wine. So pretty sure at least this one was a wine barrel, which means the other one probably was as well. Here are the staves from one barrel. The other barrel are at your feet. And I think the next thing to do is to clean these up a little bit. The inside of the barrel, these are curved, so it's a concave surface in here. So it really tears up the sandpaper. What I'm finding is I've got this scraper that's got convex, and it does a pretty good job of getting rid of some of this residue that's on here. So I'm not using any plans for this. I couldn't really find any online. I'm sure there are some, but I didn't want to pay for any because I'm cheap. I printed off a bunch of images of these kind of rockers. There's a few different styles. I'm going to steal some ideas from each of them, and I'm going to use measurements off of the chair that I have. Okay, so I've got this, that's a 1/4 inch wide at the end here. I've got a spring clamp in here to hold it down, and I'm going to have to raise this up just a little bit back here, but my hands will be safely far away from this while I'm cutting. So it feels like this should be a safe cut. I'm pushing on here and it's not really moving anywhere, so let's see how this goes. All right, so I've got my first 4 pieces cut. These are the front pieces, like right here or right here. And these are kind of the back supports, like this one right here or this one right here. I've cut them 3/4 of an inch longer than I need because I'm sure I'm going to have some kind of angle on them when they attach to the rocker part. For the armrests, I'm just going to use 2 staves. I'm not going to cut them yet because I don't know what the length is. I know I want from the seat back to the front to be 22 inches, but I don't know how much wide that's going to be. So for right now, those are going to be the armrests, but I'm just going to let them sit for a little bit. And I have 2 seat supports here. Those are 22 inches long. Those go underneath here, more like this chair though. Stop. And I'm using Titebond 3 here for this. It's waterproof and doesn't expand like that polyurethane stuff. I used that in my last project, which was fine for that, but I really didn't want it to expand like that on here. A lot of cleanup afterwards. All right, so I've got this seat assembly here. I figured out what my dimensions, what I wanted it to be. And then what I did is I used my tabletop here. I made a square, and then I figured out how far in I wanted this to be splayed. And so I brought that in the same amount. These kind of need to be at an angle, like this and this, so I just put some shims underneath. Cut my front board, cut my back board. I glued these blocks on here and I cut them at an angle, I think it was 9.5 degrees. That's not important. What was important is that matches the curve of the boards that are coming in. Now I can put on my seat assembly on here, and I'm calling this now my design feature because there's going to be a board coming like this and there. It's a mistake, but I'm calling it a design feature because I made these too short. So one thing I've got to do is try to get these as perpendicular as possible. So that's got to be more like that. Now I'm going to make the seat back assembly. Alright, so here's where it gets tricky because without plans, I'm not sure about anything anymore. So I'm just going to put this on here. This is going to go on here, something like that. So I'm going to tuck it in with a screw. Okay, now with one screw. All right, so I'm building the second one, and like DiResta says, you go to school on the first one, and so I know a bit better about how to build these things now. So I'm starting with the seat, and then I'll build the back. Can't find my plug cutter to fill these, so I'm just using some wood filler that's rated for exterior use. It won't look quite as nice, but it'll get the job done. So these turned out pretty good, especially considering I didn't have any plans. They feel very comfortable. One thing I had read about these chairs is that the curve on the rocker part isn't quite shallow enough, so to speak. It should be like a smaller circle. and it doesn't rock quite as well as our old rockers. I might fix that someday, but it's fine. I mean, it does the job, so it's not too noticeable. I do have to finish it yet. I've got some finish coming. And the other thing I need to do is I need to replace this table that is also in dire need of replacement. So I'm going to use the tops and bottoms from the wine barrels to make that, and I'll do that in the next video. Thanks for watching. I appreciate the support.